In the health field, degrees Celsius are used far more often than degrees Fahrenheit, so it's important to be somewhat familiar with that concept. And I'd like to start by doing a little bit of algebra. 0 degrees Celsius is the freezing point of water, and that corresponds to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water, and that corresponds to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm going to think of those things as points. So this will be the point 032, and the second one will be the point 100 to 12. What I want to find the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points. And I'm going to use slope-intercept form, which you should be familiar with. Y equals mx plus b. But of course, y is going to correspond to 2 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be m. X is going to correspond to 2 degrees Celsius plus b. Now the slope is the change in y over the change in x, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we get 212 minus 32 over 100 minus 0. So my slope is 180 over 100, which reduces to 18 over 10, or 9/5. Well, that's nice. The y-intercept is relatively easy to get here if you just go ahead and plug in y equals mx plus b and use the point 032. So plug in 32 for y. M is 9/5. Plug in 0 for x. Plus b, you'll see we get 32 is 0 plus b, we get 32 is b. And then saying y equals mx plus b, we get y equals 9/5 of x plus 32. But of course we really want to use Fahrenheit and Celsius. So looking at that line up there, that means Fahrenheit F is 9/5 of Celsius plus 32. So if we have a situation where it is 20 degrees Celsius, to Fahrenheit, we're going to use our formula. Fahrenheit is 9/5 of C plus 32. So Fahrenheit is 9/5 of C. C is going to be 20 over 1 plus 32. And we need to factor and cancel to do the multiplication. 9 is 3 times 3. 5 is 5. 20 is 4 times 5, or 2 times 2 times 5 over 1. All plus 32. And you'll notice that the 5 cancels. And what do we get? We get 3 times 3 times 2 times 2, 36 plus 32. So we get 68 degrees. So fairly reasonable indoor temperature, certainly in the wintertime, would correspond to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's do 20 degrees Celsius corresponding to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's do a negative one. How about we convert 20 below? Below may be relevant in Chicago for sure. So again, we're going to use our formula. F equals 9/5 of C plus 32. So we'll take F equals 9/5 of negative 20 plus 32. Well, we saw 9/5 of 20 was 36 in the last example. So 9/5 of negative 20 would be negative 36 plus 32. Or the Fahrenheit number would be 4 degrees below 0. So 4 degrees below 0 Celsius, should be Fahrenheit, minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit corresponds to minus 20 degrees Celsius. So our rule is Fahrenheit is 9/5 of C plus 32. But what if we know Celsius and want to determine Fahrenheit? For example, if you're traveling in Canada, you're traveling in Europe and Mexico, you see a sign that is in Celsius, can you convert that in fairly short order? Well, if we solve for C, we would subtract 32 from both sides and say F minus 32 is 9/5 of C, and then multiply both sides by the reciprocal, multiply the left by 5/9 times F minus 32, multiply the right 5/9 times 9/5 of C, and we get 5/9 of F minus 32 equals C. So if we know Fahrenheit and want to get Celsius, that would be the strategy that we would use. So let's say that we have 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Convert to Celsius. So again, this would be important for our Canadian friends who look outside and see that it says 50 degrees Fahrenheit and want to convert that to Celsius. So we'll plug 50 in for F, 5/9. 50 minus 32 equals C. So they'll give us 5/9 times 18 is C. 5/9, 3 times 3, 18. 9 times 2. So you'll notice we get 10 degrees equals C in that case. And let's do one more. Let's say we have 40 below Fahrenheit, and we want to determine what that is in degrees Celsius. So our formula, as we established up here, is Celsius equals 5/9 of F minus 32. So we're going to plug 40 degrees below 0 in for F. C is 5/9. Negative 40 minus 32, which is 5/9 times negative 72, which 5/9 times negative 72 is minus 40. So that's the interesting one. So as you can see here, minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit corresponds to minus 40 degrees Celsius. So that's the place where both numbers are the same. Certainly not a temperature we're looking forward to feeling in the winter. Let's do one more. Let's look at body temperature, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to convert that to degrees Celsius. So we'll use our rule, 5/9 of F minus 32 equals C. So 5/9 of 98.6 minus 32 equals C. 98.6 minus 32 is 66.6. 5/9 of 66.6 equals C. So 5/9 times 66.6 gives us 37. So 37 degrees equals C. 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit equals 37 degrees Celsius. Indeed, the Celsius one is probably what the medical community determined as the typical body temperature.